You've probably heard by now that Johnny Depp is in a romantic relationship with his former lawyer Joelle Rich, but many people are asking the question whether that is ethical for a lawyer, current or past, to be dating a client. So welcome back, I'm the Black Belt Barrister, helping you to understand law. In this video, talking about Johnny Depp and his relationship with Joelle Rich. Well, in terms of the lawyer ethics, at least. So, to respond to this question, there is no outright ban on a lawyer-client relationship, even if that is an existing client of the lawyer. But it's complicated, because the official position on the matter is so long as there is no conflict of interest, then it's okay. But that is down to the lawyer in question to make the decision. At least it is in England and Wales. And it's particularly strict at the Bar of England and Wales, in that the onus and the duty and the responsibility and all of those duties upheld by the barrister under the Bar Standards Board Handbook, which is the regulatory code of conduct, is all upon the barrister, him or herself. So the duty to remain independent and to avoid conflict of interest and to act in the best interests of the client, and of course, not least of which, core duty number one, to never mislead the court, all of which play together, are all upon that barrister, and the barrister must uphold and respect each of these duties. But that said, there is no outright ban on a relationship between lawyer and client, although certain situations can give rise to very swift and very strict reactions from the regulatory bodies if a barrister is found to have breached their professional independence. One such case, although it wasn't a romantic relationship, is where the barrister felt sorry for the client and gave them some money to meet rent that month. That barrister, as it turns out, was disbarred, whereas a barrister who gets into a relationship with a client, so long as it can be shown that there is no conflict of interest and the barrister is maintaining independence, then technically that's okay. Although most barristers that I know of probably wouldn't do that. The bigger problem, however, is that where the client becomes somewhat infatuated with the lawyer. And this is particularly prevalent in family cases where the client is in a particularly vulnerable situation as it is, both financially, emotionally, and everything else. So when the barrister comes along, or when any lawyer comes along to help them in that situation, the client invariably is going to be feeling somewhat rescued and therefore in some kind of vulnerable position. So the lawyer has the utmost duty of care to ensure the client's interests and, importantly, to maintain their independence. But in the case of Johnny Depp and Joelle Rich, it is not an existing client-lawyer relationship, so far as I'm aware. And so these kind of issues would, for the most part, fall apart, so long as, again, there is no conflict of interest brought about in any of the ongoing or prevailing legal implications for which the lawyer had made representations, but also any prospective actions going forward. Because the lawyer's duty to the client doesn't just disappear at the end of the instructions. If there's any ongoing requirement to in any way be involved, and the lawyer needs to bear this in mind. And finally, as an aside to this, reportedly Amber Heard has made her thoughts known in that she doesn't keep track of what Johnny Depp is doing and just wants to get on with her life. Maybe that's true, maybe it isn't. If I were in her position, I would certainly want to do the same, and so that's probably perfectly understandable. So I hope that helps to address the question that many of you have probably had if you've heard about Johnny Depp in this relationship with his former lawyer. It's one of these grey areas in that there is no outright ban or restriction, but it is a very difficult situation and you must always maintain independence. I hope you found that interesting. Comment below, like the video and subscribe, and as always, thank you for watching.